Good evening and welcome everyone to the first men's Supa-Liga game of 2026. The summer season continues here tonight with a big clash between Phoenix Futsal and South Perth Alliance. We go through the team lineups here for the evening. For Phoenix Futsal is Amable Nashimwe, number 2, Fatalan Farati, number 10, Frank Gordon, number 3, Jacob Gordon, number 121, James Eustace, 27, Spazoya Zestic, number 6, Charlie Bates, 5, and Diego Bagworth, number 4. We move through South Perth Alliance. Andrew Craggs, number 66, Justin Pearce, number 10, Bo Haynes, number 9, Kichi Kato, 15, James Toth, number 33, Killian Peru, number 48, Milan Rozic, 8, Luca Bergamy, number 4, Benji McHale, 99, Jamie George, number 13, Nixon Dindior, number 6, and Daniel Mazzarelli making his return to futsal after a long time out, number 88. So a big in there for South Perth. And these two teams are both looking to get a win here tonight coming into this one. It is such a crucial game for both clubs. Phoenix Futsal are sitting on 6th on the ladder, currently just in that final spot, while South Perth Alliance are 10th. But a win for South Perth Alliance will jump them from 10th to 5th. That is such a tight season, evidenced by that right there. 5 spots up the ladder would jump South Perth, including above Phoenix. So this game has absolutely mammoth proportions for both clubs. A win for Phoenix would send them from 6th to 5th, where Longabata and 4th have a fair buffer ahead of 5th. As this game is underway here tonight, both clubs trying to make an impact early. Here's Justin Pearce, gives it to Toth, cuts it through the middle, has some defenders to beat though, loses it. Now Nashimwe takes off Bergamy defending, but nice working goals. And South Perth are missing their number 1 goalkeeper, who is away with the West Coast Cobras in Gold Coast, playing in the Gold Coast International. So that is a loss and that can't get through. Meanwhile, Muslim Al Muhammad also missing in goals for Phoenix. So the battle of 2 goalkeepers who probably don't get a whole lot of minutes for these two teams, going head to head, and that one sails straight past everyone. But Rung Swan, the keeper, missing for South Perth. As here's Bates, who just out of the reach of Zestic on that ball. Here's Toth. Toth through to McHale. McHale now. Nice bit of defensive formation played here by Phoenix. That ball can't get through to Toth. The South Perth started the season off so poorly. They were down the bottom for quite a while. But a few wins in the last few games has given them the opportunity now with a win tonight. Like I mentioned, they'll jump from 10th to 5th in a remarkably tight season. And if you get into that top 6, anything is possible, as it'll be taken now in goals for South Perth. And bringing in the likes of a Daniel Mazzarelli at this time of the season, if it is a longer term prospect, is such a massive inclusion for Alliance. And earlier on, yes, they were losing games, but they were missing a lot of players. They seem to have gotten slightly more towards full strength now, Alliance, as that shot from Toth just went sailing over the crossbar. And that ball doesn't stay in for Phoenix. And whilst Phoenix are sitting, as I mentioned, in 6th as opposed to 10th of South Perth, they're going to have a tough task at hand here tonight. But they've also been very impressive in most of their games. They've been competitive, as McHale flies in there. Farati now playing that target position, the battle of the 2 number 10s. Pearson, Farati, here's McHale, he's great down the line, and he beats his man down the line, Zestic, but Nashimwe there, managing to clean that one up. Now Bergamy goes back into goals to the keeper. Here's a chance, will he get a shot off? He does! Big save, massive save of a certain goal there by Gordon. That's Jacob Gordon. Does that one get through to McHale? It doesn't. Here's Zestic, has Nishimwe, can he control it? He can, over the head. Almost found his man. What a great attempt, almost finding Ferrati. Ferrati will now bring it into play. Long ball, Nishimwe there, controls it well. Doesn't stay in for him though. That stays in. Zestic getting held a bit by Toth. No call. And it cleared in the end on the goal line there by Bates. Shot from Mikhail. Nishimwe, Ferrati, in comes Pierce. And there is that battle of the number 10s. Nishimwe, Mikhail behind him and managed to get there, clearing it. It will be a Nishimwe ball though. Chance for Bates, shot, cleared by Bergamy. Such a fascinating matchup this game between two teams trying to make an impact later in the season, and if they're going to do that, tonight is so crucial for them. There's Gordon, goes to Bates. There's a turnover. Bergamy on the counter. Ferrati does well enough defensively getting back. He'll bring it in, goes quickly to Nishimwe. I don't even know if that ball even got in. In fact, the ball must have been moving, or he's just not been able to keep it in from touch, and Bergamy will take. Bergamy through to Toth. And finding a hole in the defence there of Phoenix, but not able to get the accuracy, James Toth. Gordon will bring it in. Long ball, and it goes past everyone. This will be brought in from goals. Zestic getting there. Sending it into touch and on for South Perth now is Bo Haynes, who gets that through to Bergamy. Ends up with Pierce. Pierce through to Toth. Can he get a shot on the right? He can, but Zestic with the block. And Pierce to bring it in. Pierce to Toth. Block made, and that'll go into touch. But South Perth, as you probably would have expected with the quality that they do have playing here tonight, have controlled, I'd say, the majority of possession, and Phoenix have been playing a bit of a counter-attack game, as they may have to. Haynes with a shot, saved by Gordon. Playing in the place of Al Mohammed, and he's made a few big saves early. And it will be, in fact, on the broadcast corner side for Gordon. Here's Bergamy. Haynes, shot, doesn't get through. Zestic, Nishimwe, and if he just out of his reach, but if he could have just got to that, he was away and gone, one-on-one with the keeper. Haynes, Pierce, Toth, down the line, can he keep it in? He can. He's got all sorts of space, back post, Bergamy there, Gordon clears. Nishimwe, a bit of a push from Haynes, Toth, Bergamy. And Toth can't keep it in, just lost his touch at that last moment. Haynes loses it, in fact it was Bates. Haynes, Toth, through to the back post, Nishimwe there, Zestic on the counter. Here is Ferrati. Ferrati tries to take on Pierce. Does pretty well to keep going. Manages to be a sideline ball, but it won't be his. Much to his dismay, it'll be Justin Pierce's ball. Toth. Haynes to Pierce. Here's James Toth. Bit of contact made by Ferrati, and foul called. And it will be a Alliance ball. Toth to take. Ferrati gets into that one. That'll be off Toth. Off the deflection. Now Zestic keeps his feet. Sliding in comes Bergamy, but Zestic ends up with a nice bit of footwork. Gets it through. Chance for Ferrati. And almost couldn't get it around enough. And on comes Daniel Mazzarelli for South Perth. As does Nixon Dindial. Here's Haynes. Haynes still going. Has Mazzarelli, but just out of his reach. He'll be brought in from the sideline by Nishimwe. Over the head of Pierce, is it? No, Pierce gets there. Does well defensively. Bates. Zestic. Now Bates again. Does brilliantly to get it through, but now it's turned over. Mazzarelli there. Pierce. Through to Ndindio. Has Mazzarelli at the back post. Can he get it through? Pierce! And just wide right. Big opportunity going begging there for South Perth. Gordon long ball. Haynes there. Turnover. Pierce. Haynes again. Tried to find Dindiol. But Nishimwe up to the task defensively.
Wait. Thank you.
Chance for Rosic, who is now on. Milan Rosic for South Perth. But the save made by Gordon. Rosic through to Mazzarelli. All the way back. What can they build here now, South Perth? Here's Rosic. Has space here. He loves it on the left, and that's just wide. But South Perth really controlling the play for most of this game so far. Just under 5 minutes gone as on comes James Eustace for Phoenix. Can he have an impact? Mazzarelli out to Haynes and back to Mazzarelli. He takes his time and uses his left to find Rosic. Gets it back from Rosic. Now Rosic again. He'll go to his right, he'll use Mazzarelli. Has Bates defending. Cuts it through the middle, now turns it over though. Here's Zestic on the counter, loses it. Back to Bates, beats Haynes. Now he's got some space. Zestic, back to Bates. What a play that is! And almost put away. No one on the back post. And you see that replay, brilliant by Charlie Bates. Combining with Zestic a couple times. And almost the opening goal of the night. What a fast-paced game this has been so far. The last time that these two teams came head-to-head, it was 4-4. They could not be split. Dindiol, can he get to it? Gordon there, dangerously bobbles around. Rosic. Last off of Eustace, but 4-4 was the last time these two teams came head-to-head. As I said, they could not be split, and so far tonight, they have not been able to be split either. Here's an opportunity for South Perth to break that deadlock. We'll find out if they can now as a shot wide right. Here's the corner for Rosic. Gives it off to Haynes, loses it. Chance now for Nishimwe, keeper out of goals. Got the shot off, but block made. Here's Mazzarelli. Eustace defending. Takes it through the middle, gets a shot off. Big save by Gordon. And he found that space there, Mazzarelli, to get the shot away. But Gordon strong in goals again. Rosic through, Dindiol doesn't get to him. Nicely done by Bates on defence. Here is Haynes, loses it. Keeper out of goals. Zestic goes down, no foul called, is it? It is now. The foul will be called. Zestic, the recipient. Andrew Craggs, I believe, in goals, has really been playing a lot out of goals and they got a few shots away. Nishimwe there loses it. Whilst he has got a few shots away and almost put a couple past Gordon, it's also put Alliance under the pump on that counter-attack. That ball was moving from Nishimwe. And it will be a side ball for South Perth and to be taken by McHale. Or in fact, it looks like it'll be McHale and he might try and set up the Rosic shot. He does. Rosic, saved by Gordon. Mazzarelli, McHale, another save by Gordon there. He's been so strong so far. Here's Mazzarelli through, off the outside of the Rozic boot. Keeper out of goals again, and dangerously, but clears. He seems to be very good on his feet outside of goals, does Craggs. That ball's lost by Zestic. Peru, back to Rozic. Craggs, Mikhail. He has Mazzarelli, who uses Mikhail. Mikhail to Rozic. Rozic now tries to get it through to Peru, can't. But it looks like it was off of a deflection of Phoenix. Peru to Mikhail, nice move down the line, and he gets it in! And the first goal of the evening, really coming from nothing, but Benji Mikhail managed to squeeze it through the defence and the keeper. You'll see on that replay, kind of didn't have a whole lot behind it, but just managed to bounce past everyone. And Phoenix go down early, 7 minutes into this game, and South Perth have their first. Here's Eustace, long ball. Nishimwe there, controls it brilliantly. Nishimwe, big save by Craggs. Toth gets there. Off to Mazzarelli, long ball, turned over. Bates, through to Zestic, great ball to Eustace. Mazzarelli clears. Bates gets a shot off, but never looked likely. Here is Craggs in goals. Long ball, Toth. Gets it through, chance Peru, doesn't get anything on it. Bates, long ball, and that'll be easy pickings for Craggs. Here's Mikhail. And once again, they'll go back to that controlling possession game. Toth, shot. In fact, I think he tried to find Pierce. Eustace there. Now Mikhail. Mikhail with a shot, and this time, fortune not on his side, and it'll end up wide left. And Gordon will bring it back into play. Long ball, Eustace the target, and he will win a corner. He tries to go quick, but South Perth have all 4 players back defensively. Eustace long ball into Shimway, controls it. Back to Bates. Bates through to Eustace. Shot on the right, the opposite right boot, but just high, and that would have been an extraordinary finish. And timeout called with 12 minutes remaining in this first half of futsal. We'll be back with you in just a moment. And we're just about to get underway again after that timeout. South Perth with the early lead. Phoenix have fought hard, but the control of the game has really been in favour of the Alliance. Here is Toth. Out wide to Mikhail. Eustace defending. Toth comes in with a bit of a screen. Creating some space. Now Toth. Toth might go to Bergamy. Doesn't. Might shoot himself. Just lost his footing. Bergamy back to Toth. Shot. Not enough on it. Blocked by Zestic. Cleared by Bates. And it'll be a South Perth ball in their defensive half. Here is Mikhail, now Toth. He'll use Pierce to his left on the broadcast flank. Pierce wanted the run from Toth, but didn't get it. Here is Nishimwe. And Marble Nishimwe, short ball to Bates, long ball to Noah Vale. And now Toth. Pressure by Nishimwe. Ends up with Zestic. Zestic can shoot it himself. Tried to find Nishimwe. Block made by Pierce. And I think it was last off Pierce, and it'll be a corner ball for Phoenix. Here is Zestic from the corner. Gives it to Bates. Charlie Bates uses Eustace. Tries to get it back to Bates, but just out of his reach. Who couldn't control the accuracy on the pass.
Sorry. Yeah, all good. Play, please.
James Toth. Pierce through to Bergamy. Has the runner Pierce. Pierce with a shot. Wide right off the right boot. But a nice bit of play there, and yeah, 10 minutes, just under 11 minutes to go in this first half, and 1-0 is the lead. Both teams really trying to find a way to climb this ladder as we start the second half of the season. And coming into this game, it's really been a mixture of players that have contributed so far this season for Phoenix. They've had a much improved season, and it's been 7 goals off the boot of Oscar Patterson, who is missing here tonight, which is a big loss, as well as their goalkeeper, Muslim Al-Muhammad, for Phoenix. So those 7 goals will be greatly missed, as well as Spasoya Zestic has been a huge factor in the rise of Phoenix this season. He's scored 11, and he's here tonight, and he's also been prominent tonight without troubling the scorers just of yet. For South Perth, as I mentioned, it's been a mixture. It's been a bit of Bo Haynes, who's playing here tonight. He scored 7. James Toth also with 7 goals on the season. But it's been Kichi Kato leading all goal scorers for South Perth Alliance. He scored 10 goals, and not only that, 5 assists. So he's had a huge impact for Alliance in summer season 2025-2026. And Kato will look to have a bigger impact as well coming into the remaining half of the season. Here is Mikhail. Mikhail now, can he beat Eustace? Gets it to the back post, does! Toth, goal! South Perth take the 2-goal lead, and that was sublime by Benji Mikhail. Took it to the outside of James Eustace, found Toth at the back post, and South Perth have come in tonight with a very strong team and have that 2-goal lead early. Here is Eustace, and they're under the pump here. Bergamy almost with a 3rd for the Alliance. Toth can't get it through. Nicely done defensively by Frank Gordon. Nishimwe will take possession. Nishimwe to Gordon. To Jacob Gordon. Long ball. Goes straight past everyone. And the last game that South Perth played, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, was against Inter Perth Futsal Club. And they went down in a 3-2, I think, or something very similar to that, but it was a very tight affair. And to be able to take South Perth, in fact, to be able to take Inter Perth right to the death, that takes some doing. And they're showing here tonight that they are not to be taken lightly going into this second half of the season. And that ball will go out into touch, sending a message to the rest of the competition so far early, especially if they can finish this game off the way they've started. Toth, can he score a 3rd for the team? He can't. Jacob Gordon there. Long to Nishimwe, down the line, gets past Bergamy. Bergamy there, finds a way to win it defensively though. Bergamy now, high and loopy into the middle to Pierce, cuts 2 defenders, still going Pierce. Gets a shot off and a big save on a certain goal. And Jacob Gordon has been under the pump all game, and he's made a number of large saves. Chance here, Peru, immediately coming on, trying to have an impact, but can't quite. And we're just over the halfway mark of this first half of futsal. that ball's going to end up with Craggs, who's been playing a bit out of goals here tonight. On comes Bo Haynes for South Perth, and he receives it now. Haynes out to Peru. Peru tries to turn around, loses it. Ferrati, chance for Eustace on the left. He might have to shoot it on the right, he does, and he didn't get enough power on it. It was a nice cut in, but just couldn't quite get enough behind it. And that ball is lost off of the boot of Diego Bagworth. Haynes, Peru, back to Bo Haynes. Now Mazzarelli back on for South Perth. Mazzarelli taking his time, has Ferrati defending. Shot on the left, blocked by Ferrati, ends up with Jacob Gordon. Eustace. Ball is lost. Haynes, Mazzarelli. Goes back, it's going to end up with Haynes now. Ferrati coming in defensively, but he's beaten. Haynes gets a shot off, does he? No, couldn't connect with the ball. Eustace, long, high and wide. And this will be taken by Peru. He'll use Haynes. Haynes through to Dindial. Dindial back to Haynes, who might have lost it. Can he keep it in? He does he? No. A valiant effort, but couldn't quite keep that from going out. On that far flank, and now Frank Gordon. Looks like he'll use Jacob Gordon, he does. And back to Frank. Now down the line, no one there at all. It'll end up with Craggs. Haynes to Peru. Peru with a shot, and that's wide. And Jacob Gordon ends up with it. Long ball, gets to his man. Ferrati, defended by Mazzarelli, who might have won it. And looks like he has, and he did brilliantly there, using the body. Mazzarelli letting that go out. And now into the hands of Craggs, who will reset it for South Perth. Haynes, Peru, back to Haynes. And now Mazzarelli, can he take off? He's got space. He'll go to Peru. Back to Mazzarelli. Now through, Peru leaves it. Ended up with Haynes, but can't get it back to Peru. Nicely done defensively there by Bagworth. Mazzarelli has Craggs. Peru with a shot, and that's wide. That would have been some sort of finish from halfway. Eustace, Gordon, Frank Gordon. Bagworth loses it. Chance for Mazzarelli on the left. Almost beats Gordon, and now it's done. Mazzarelli almost finished it, but Dindial did on the follow-up. 3-0 the lead, and South Perth have come out absolutely firing here tonight at Subiaco. 3-0 the lead, and the shot by Mazzarelli, Jacob Gordon was able to stop it, and he has done so many of those so far tonight, Gordon, in goals, but couldn't quite stop Dindial on that second opportunity. Now Ferrati and Phoenix are in all sorts of trouble now. They need the next goal. Eustace, back heel was lost. Haynes goes to Dindial, just out of his reach. And unbelievable futsal right now South Perth are playing, coming up against 5th placed Phoenix. In fact, 6th placed Phoenix. And if the game was to end right now, South Perth will jump 5 places on the ladder. Here is Craggs in goals, long to Dindial, and that's out of his reach. Now Jacob Gordon uses Frank Gordon. Long ball, Ferrati there, defended by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli gets a boot in, and that might have been last off of South Perth, it is. Ferrati loses it, Haynes, Dindial. Ferrati comes in, uses his body, and almost finds the back of the net, Dindial. And Phoenix don't really seem to be playing with a whole lot of system right now. It seems to be South Perth controlling the game the way they want to. And Phoenix are kind of just going along and hoping someone shows up, hoping for a bit of brilliance. Bergamy now gets it through, and there's the 4th. South Perth, who are currently sitting in 10th place, lead 4-0. They've come out tonight and are looking pretty dominant in this first 14 minutes of play. Great finish, as you'll see on that replay. Luca Bergamy, I believe it was. Zestic, Rozic there, Gordon, long ball, chance, Phoenix, can they get it through? No. Bagworth didn't get enough on it, still almost found a way to beat Craggs, but just enough from Craggs there to thwart that opportunity. Rozic, Toth, cuts it inboard, and just behind McHale. Long ball by Eustace, and can that stay in? I don't think so. As South Perth get a chance to build again. Here's James Toth. He'll pass it inboard. Luca Bergamy makes it 5, and this is getting a bit ugly now. This is getting very ugly, in fact, for Phoenix. 5 goals to start this first half for South Perth, and a great bit of play there by Toth. Inboard, and you see he just finished very, very comfortably. 5-0 the lead. Here comes Zestic, and you can see right now Phoenix are relying on a bit of individual brilliance and not able to put it away, and they really haven't had a whole lot of chances created, and that's going to go out, and it's going to be Craggs again. Now McHale, and a high press implemented now to try and halt this possession game of South Perth. Rozic, can he get it through? No, couldn't quite keep that down the line, but no stress on the face of James Toth, who was the recipient, especially with this 5-goal lead. There's a turnover. Bergamy goes down, foul called on Zestic. McHale calling for a booking. I don't think he'll get it, but the foul called. Just a bit of discussion going on now between the South Perth players, trying to put together a set piece and put 6 goals past Jacob Gordon, and you do have to feel for him. Obviously Muslim Al Muhammad missing, and he's just been under the pump all game. He's made a number of big saves, but 5-0 obviously doesn't look good from a scoreline point of view, and that could have almost been backheeled in by Bergamy. Would have taken some sort of effort though. Long ball by Jacob Gordon. Eustace there, Bates onto it. Rozic through to Bergamy, has space. Toth has Rozic running. Decides to go himself. Toth on the left, not enough on it. Bates through. Rozic will let that go, and it'll be a South Perth ball. Here is Rozic, not happy with how close. I believe James Eustace is staying. Not being the 5 metres, Rozic claiming. As here is Bergamy, turns the defender, gets a shot off, big save by Gordon, who will just clear it away. I think he had a shot there, he noticed Craggs was out of goals, but couldn't get the connection he was after. Here's McHale. Rozic back to McHale. Great ball by Bergamy. Rozic on the left. Shot blocked by Bates. McHale. Rozic. Back to McHale now. Who's defended by Bates, gets it through to Rozic, and that doesn't stay in for him. As now Bates will look to build for Phoenix. That's a great long ball, but Craggs comes in and clears. What a dominant performance it has been so far from South Perth tonight. Eustace to Bates. Back to Eustace. Now Bates again. Can he get that through? He can't. It's turned over. Haynes onto it. Now Toth. Now Pearce catches the post, and a bit of an outward bender. Almost beating Gordon, but couldn't quite stay away from that post. Here's Pearce again. Down the line, Zestic there defending. McHale tries to find Pearce. Can't get it to him. Toth blocked by Bates. McHale. Haynes. Combining a few times there. Haynes and McHale. Now Toth. Uses Haynes down the line. Might have a shot. Does! I think he tried to get a shot off earlier and then realised he'd lost his footing and then just had a crack from a tight angle. But wasn't to be. Now Pierce. Wide to McHale. Tried to get it through to Haynes. Pierce should finish. In fact, he almost missed the ball completely. Another chance at redemption for Pierce. Gordon saves the McHale shot. Pierce again. Can he get a shot off? Zestic does well on defence. And it'll be brought in with just under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Long ball by Zestic, turned over. Toth with a shot, saved by Gordon. And Pierce will take the corner for South Perth. Tried to get it to McHale, ends up somehow getting through to him, who keeps his feet, beats two defenders, still going, now gets it to his man Haynes, who doesn't get the ball past Gordon. Toth, back to McHale, who was down, now he gets a shot off, and he's wide right. Jacob Gordon, long ball, gets it through to Zestic almost. Toth's touch was just enough to stop that ball getting through. On comes Peru for South Perth. Here is Pierce. Pierce tried to go down the line. Zestic there on defence though. Peru now gets a shot off. Another big save, and Jacob Gordon has made a number of them, and it's really been defensively Phoenix Futsal giving up a lot of shots and really struggling to thwart off this attack of South Perth. But Gordon, if not for him, it could be a lot worse. Here is McHale with a shot, and that's 6. Found the bottom left, and Benji McHale, lethal on that occasion, on that right boot. Just caught the inside of that bottom right post, and you'll see on that replay, he scored the first goal, and now we scored the 6th. Bates long, Peru with the block. Here is Bates again. Mazzarelli down the line, can't get it past Ferrati. But it will be a South Perth ball. High press played by Phoenix, long ball here from goals by Craggs. Tried to find Mazzarelli, ended up with Peru. Couldn't get it through to Mazzarelli. Now Frank Gordon, brilliant footwork by Bates. Can he get a shot off? No. Pierce, if he can get through, he's got all sorts of space. It is a 3-on-1. 3-on-1 for South Perth. Peru through to Toth, and James Toth makes it 7 in the first half. And that's exactly what you'd expect a team of that quality to do in a 3-on-1. 2 passes and a back post finish. And this is getting slightly out of hand for Phoenix, which is a shame because they have had so many competitive performances this season, and tonight it just has all gone wrong really. Here is Nishimwe. Long ball through, saved by Craggs. He'll give it off to Rozic. Rozic to Peru. Mazzarelli, Peru. Can't get that through to Rozic. I think he was a bit behind him. Gordon, out to Ferrati. Can they get one through? They can't. Craggs up to the task. And now Toth. And you can just see the relentless counter-attack play by South Perth. 7 goals is normally when you might start to get a bit complacent, but every turnover, and South Perth are just hungry for more. Here's Bates. Goes to Nishimwe, who turns it over. Toth makes it 8. And James Toth has scored a couple here tonight, as have a few players. I think Bergamy, Toth, and Benji McHale, if my memory serves me correctly, have all scored a couple. And Phoenix now have really just got to stop, and they've got to limit the damage somehow. They have had a couple big defeats this season. One at the hands of Inter Perth, one at the hands of the West Coast Cobras. And South Perth are doing Massive damage at the moment. Here's a long ball, chance for Bates. Bates through, Nishimwe, big save. And a big chance there for Amable Nishimwe. Rozic, Bergamy, Nishimwe with a shot. Big save again, Bates, just high, and a couple opportunities. Will that be the start of something for Phoenix? Here is Peru out to Mazzarelli. 8 goals is a long way back, but you never know in futsal. Mazzarelli. Peru. Mazzarelli with a shot, and Gordon probably should have put that one out, but managed to get through the hands, and that makes it 9. And with 3 seconds to go in the half, that's not what Phoenix needed. And Mazzarelli with his first goal in his return to futsal. Now a 9-goal lead, and that should do us for the first half here. He's been good in goals at times, Gordon, but the relentless amount of shots from South Perth has just been too much, and we'll be back with you for the second half in just a few moments.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
We're about to get back underway for this second half. here at Subiaco. It's been a dominant performance from South Perth Alliance. They've come into 2026 on fire, and 9-0 is the lead going into this second. Here is Bergamy to get us underway for the second. Bergamy to Toth. Justin Pearce out wide to Bergamy, who now uses Toth. Has a run from Bergamy, goes to him, but Nishimwe does well in defence. Nice bit of footwork by Zestic. Gets it to James Eustace, back to Zestic. Now Nishimwe. Nishimwe beats Dindial. Can't beat Bergamy though. Toth has the run of Dindial. Chance, can he finish it? No. In came Zestic on that last line, and it looks like it may have last come off of Spazoya Zestic. Be brought in from the corner from James Toth. They've started the second half the way that most of the first half went. Pearce cleared by Zestic, and Craggs has played out of goals a bit tonight. Had a few shots, could have almost scored a couple, and it has not punished them defensively, has it yet, South Perth, with a few shots from Phoenix as a result of Craggs being off his line. Going nowhere near it is Dindial. Pearce. Now Toth through to Pearce. She'll get a shot off, cuts it in board on Bates, and Toth finishes it off. And double digits has arrived for South Perth Alliance. Only just starting this second half. And you never know, 20 could be on the cards if it continues at this rate. But Phoenix need to turn the ship around, and here's a chance to do it, but the ball's behind Nishimwe. Obviously, Phoenix are missing Oscar Robertson and Muslim Al Muhammad in goals, which doesn't help, but they've been outclassed in every area so far tonight of the game. Drillan Jasufi also out of this game for Phoenix. Here's Craggs. James Toth, while South Perth do have a very strong lineup. Toth, back post, Bergamy, just too high, couldn't keep it down. Here's Eustace, through, almost turned it over, but Pearce overran it. Nishimwe, back post, almost Bates. Big save though on the goal line by Craggs. Nishimwe can get a shot off. Pearce on the line, cleared, and just over the head there of Nixon Dindial. Eustace with a shot off the right. Pearce goes to Bergamy. Bergamy to Toth. Toth, Pearce. Bergamy might have turned it over here. Zestic, chance, keeps his feet. Does it stay in? Zestic manages to control that. And this might be cleared. It'll be last off of Nishimwe and a South Perth ball. Pearce. Zestic strong in defence. Here's Eustace. Zestic slows the play down, gives it to Bates. Bates settings the play. Long ball, gets it to Zestic. Can he get a boot on it? No.
Everyone, come on.
Here is McHale. McHale to Haynes. Haynes through the middle, gives it to Peru, has the run of Haynes, but didn't have enough on it, and Zestic able to pick it off. Chance though, and that was Peru coming flying in, but both players went down and a foul was called against South Perth. Just almost let that go through his legs there, did Zestic, but no damage done, and Nishimwe will take Zestic cuts it inboard on Haynes. Gives it to Eustace. Eustace cuts it outside. Now Bates. Nice bit of footwork. Good movement. Zestic. This is better from Phoenix. Eustace. That gets through to Zestic, but really no one on the end of that ball. And it'll end up with Craggs. Chance here. Peru saved by Gordon at that near post. It'll be a corner ball taken by Benji McHale. McHale through, gets a shot off, and it's another one. And that makes it 11. And that one probably should have done better there, did Jacob Gordon, but he's had a tough night. He's been under the pump all game, and you see that replay there. Another one that kind of just managed to squeeze through. And that is 11. And here is Peru. He'll go long. Has Milan Rosic it was. Nishimwe through on the counter. Chance for the first goal for Phoenix. But Craggs does well in goals. Ferrati's still going. Has Bates. He'll shoot, will he? No. Probably took too long. Should have just got a shot off, you'd think. And that will go out into touch. And the Shimway with a shot, big save by Craggs.
Calm down.
And you do obviously realise when games like this do happen how valuable Muslim Al Muhammad is to the Phoenix futsal lineup. He's been a player of the week, I believe, a number of times, or at least made a few saves of the week. On comes Frank Gordon, and he's such a star player. And really, any keeper coming in to play in the top league of WA is always going to have a very tough job ahead, and especially when you're coming up against a team right now of the quality of South Perth. Here is Eustace, long ball. Haynes loses it. Chance Nishimwe 2-on-1. This should be finished, and it isn't. Ferrati couldn't get it through. Craggs not happy. Wants the corner, does Ferrati. And somehow, Craggs has been brilliant in goals, coming in for Run Swung, who, as I mentioned, is in Gold Coast right now, playing the Gold Coast International. Here is Haynes, gets it from the back heel from McHale. Couple step overs. Can he keep it in? He does. In fact, he just couldn't quite keep it in on that far flank. Here's Gordon, turns it over in a dangerous spot. Rosic has space, gets a shot off. Blocked by Gordon. Eustace. Rosic with the block on Ferrati. Ferrati does brilliantly with his head, but loses it. Peru. The intensity is still up in this game, but the scoreline is pretty dismal. McHale did brilliantly, but couldn't keep it in. He's always been very good down the line, Benji McHale. But on that occasion, couldn't quite keep it in. He ran out of real estate. Here is Nishimwe. Through to Gordon, and that one goes out. And it will be a ball taken by Killian Peru. Mazzarelli, back to Craggs. Long ball straight now into the hands of Gordon. Jacob Gordon to James Eustace. Off to Frank Gordon. Long ball, can he get it through to Ferrati? Ferrati 1-on-1 with the goals. And that shot's wide. Big opportunity goes begging for them to break that clean sheet. But it looks like it might be a corner for Ferrati.
Hold the back five, please. Thank you. Quiet.
Ferrati from the corner. Here's Eustace now. Cuts it back to his left. Ferrati, Eustace, Nishimwe. Ferrati again. They're going backwards. That's a good ball though, but Peru gets in there. Mazzarelli. That might be a handball, and it's called on Frank Gordon. And Mazzarelli will take. Here's Pierce, back to Mazzarelli. All the way back to Craggs. Now switches it to Haynes, who will go back to Mazzarelli. South Perth building nicely here. Can they put a 12th into the back of the net. Haynes, Mazzarelli.
Good, make them look.
And not a bad ball, but it was always going to be tough to control that there for Peru.
Close middle before. Get it.
Eustace through, Mazzarelli picks it off. Can he get a shot off? He will, and he'll finish it. Catches the bottom of the crossbar, and Daniel Mazzarelli scores his second of the evening. You'll see on that replay, came in, intercepted it, and I don't know what happened defensively, but it's like the seas were parted, and Mazzarelli had a wide open shot at the goals, and Ferrati goes down, foul called. You can't really blame Jacob Gordon in goals for that. The defence just opened up and exposed him completely, but it was nicely finished by Mazzarelli in his second of the evening. And this will be taken by Ferrati. Can they get... Scoreboard will be updated. Believe it is 12-0. But Ferrati now has a chance to break the clean sheet of Craggs. There's a shot, doesn't get through Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli takes off, beats one man Ferrati. Now he has Frank Gordon to beat. Out to Bergamy. Back to Mazzarelli. Does he get a hat trick? He does! And in the return of Daniel Mazzarelli, it's a hat trick evening at Subiaco. That's 13 now for South Perth. And looking like it, if not already, it's looking like it's going to be one of the highest scores, if not the biggest score of season 2025-2026 in the Men's Superliga. Here is Ferrati. Mazzarelli gets the turnover, might get a shot off, goes down, and the foul will be called. Looked like they were holding out to see if the advantage would be called.
Blue.
And the yellow will be given. Looks like he held him initially and then foul. It looked like there was another foul as well when he went down, but the yellow is given. And Mazzarelli drawing that foul to be taken here by Bergamy.
If you want, take a touch.
Bergamy to take. Bergamy, can he put together something here? And not quite, just wide. Jacob Gordon to Eustace. And you do feel for the Phoenix players tonight. It's always going to be, as that ball gets through to Ferrati, it's always tough to be in a situation where nothing is going your way. And you do feel for them. And they'll just be hoping for this game to end. But for now, the focus has to be on finding a way to score 1 or 2 goals. And then you never know, score a few more, make the scoreboard look a bit more respectable. This will be brought in by Ferrati. Here's Eustace, back to Ferrati. Thought about going to Bagworth, but would have been dangerous with Pierce lurking. As no foul called then, almost, I think the foul was almost called by the South Perth player, as no foul initially was called, but both players went to ground and shook hands. Mazzarelli, and that ball goes out. Frank Gordon to Ferrati. Can he keep that in? Mazzarelli pouncing onto it. Ends up with Frank Gordon. And just too much juice behind that ball, trying to find Bagworth. Mikhail under the pump now, might have to clear. Ends up just going to Dindial. Mikhail ends up with it again from Dindial. And on the left, couldn't quite get that around enough. Jacob Gordon, long ball. Bagworth keeps it in. Now Craggs will take off out of goals. He's had a few opportunities this evening. Can he put one through as well? Can he get involved in the party? And there he is. Craggs puts it away. And what a finish. He beat the defender, and that was one of the goals of the round. Even though this is only the first game of the round. What a finish. That is now 14 for South Perth. And he's been threatening all game. Has Andrew Craggs and finally gets one past the keeper.
Come on, boys. Keep it up.
And it was 9 goals in the first half. It's 5 so far in the second half for Alliance.
Mix it back.
Can Phoenix arrest some of this momentum? Here's Frank Gordon. Can he get a shot off? He can't. Now a shot from Eustace, and that's just wide. Long ball by Craggs. Eustace there, does well to beat Dindial. And he ends up finding space. Goes back to Frank Gordon, who turns it over. McHale on the counter, goes to Toth, and Toth makes it 15. And that one just managed to squeeze by the near post. And it probably could have been saved, that one, but managed to just squeeze that through. And James Toth scores another goal. And Phoenix just need to find any way to score a goal or two to get back into this game. Obviously, when I say get back into this game, more so just trying to see if they can make the score look a bit more respectable. As I mentioned earlier, South Perth have come out with venom tonight, and they have played and they have not relented despite the big lead. Here is Gordon, down the line, still going, and last off of Bagworth there. And in the context of the season, if this does continue, South Perth, like I mentioned, they will be sitting in 5th place and they'll make up 15 goals in goal difference, and that ball saved. And their goal difference right now is -8, so that would bring it back to 7, which really starts to catch up to some of the teams above them. Here's James Toth, gets a shot off. Nicely caught there by Jacob Gordon. Gets it to Ferrati. Ferrati 2 to beat. Has McHale to beat initially. Goes to the outside, goes down, and a foul called.
Wow. Still free kick, man. Doesn't matter.
And just a bit of a verbal dispute there with Andrew Craggs and Futsal and Ferrati. And that will do us going into a timeout. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Let's go, please.
And we are back for the final bit of this final match of this Friday night at Subiaco. 15-goal lead now for South Perth. But Phoenix have an opportunity here to break through Andrew Craggs, and he is not conceded here tonight. In fact, Craggs has scored one himself. Here's Bates, can he get it through? Instead goes to Zestich, block made. Zestich, McHale, Dindial has the run from McHale to the back post. He'll go to there and he'll finish it off.
Good run, Benji.
And you could see that coming from a mile away. And that will be 16.
Well done, boys.
And South Perth using this as an opportunity to, as I mentioned, really clean up their goal difference. And also some individual players have had some great performances here tonight, scoring a number of goals. Zestich, and this has been really surprising from Phoenix because they have been such a competitive, strong team for most games this season, but they're just not getting back and plugging those holes defensively, and it's been a really big struggle. But every team does have games like this, and I'm sure they will look to bounce back going into next week. Here's Zestich. Can he get it past Dindiol? He can. Dindiol behind him now. Eustace can't get it through. Dindiol did well and wins possession. Toth. Out to Mikhail. Rozic. Back to Mikhail, now Dindiol. Mikhail again. Toth. Cuts it inside, got two defenders to beat, can't beat Bates. There's Shimway there now. Ends up winning it, finds Eustace. Just a tiny bit behind on that pass there to Shimway. But no damage done. As Rozic just hammers that away.
Guys, next ball, everyone.
Long ball by Eustace, straight to Craggs. Bergamy goes through the middle to Toth. Toth now, he'll get a shot off, and that's wide.
Good try. Yeah. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle.
Eustace,
Middle, kill it, middle. Yeah.
turnover. Pierce, this should be finished, and that's now 17. Bo Haynes. That one would be one of the easier finishes of Bo Haynes' career. With 7 minutes to go now. Can Phoenix arrest this momentum somehow? At least try and score one. Here's Zestich.
Go, press.
Shimway, Bates, loses it. Pierce. And if he had found Bergamy again, that was going to be another tap in. But nicely done defensively that occasion from Phoenix.
Follow now.
Gordon, Jacob Gordon, long ball, and Peru leads it smartly, and Craggs will take. Bergamy. Here's Bergamy again, receiving from Peru, now getting back to Peru. Haynes. Peru.
Stay there.
Goes to Justin Pierce, was looking for Bergamy. Decided to go the safe option in the end to Haynes. Now Peru.
So force.
Long ball, tried to get it to Haynes, but Gordon mops that up. Bates. Zestich. Over the head of everyone. Ends up with Eustace now.
Up.
Eustace again, Zestich.
Follow.
Long high ball and not able to be kept in by Nishimwe. And Bergamy will bring it back in.
Go, play that.
Keep going, boys. Come on.
Yes,
Bergamy long ball. Now it's turned over. Couldn't control it there, Peru. He gets a boot on that one. Stop that from getting through to Eustace. And Eustace will bring it in from touch. Here's Bates. Shot blocked by Pierce. And just under 6 minutes remaining in this game, and this game will do a lot of damage to Phoenix's season. Obviously, it's only one game, but they will need to be bouncing back very soon. They do want a chance at finals as Pierce gets there defensively. The Shimway, Zestich, both involved, and it'll be a Pierce possession.
Yes, yes, push. Yes, good.
He gets that through. Here's Bergamy, loses it. 1-on-1. Bates versus Craggs. Bates saved by Craggs. Peru, and he will clear. Here's Eustace.
Yes, go there.
And out of the reach of Nishimwe. Pierce will bring it back into play. He'll go to Haynes. And he'll get it back here. Haynes from Pierce through the middle. Gives it to Bergamy.
Come on, JP, come on.
Bergamy back to Haynes. Pierce is in all sorts of states if they can get it to him. They get it to him now. Probably a bit too late, but he's got it. He'll use Haynes.
Move. Push in the middle.
Pierce
Carry the ball in the middle. Yes, carry. Yes, now you go.
through to Bergamy. Pierce
Yes, Zach.
almost found the back post. Peru was there, but nicely done by Bates. Turnover by Eustace. Now Haynes. Bergamy loses it. Nishimwe. Chance. No. Craggs comes out of goals nicely. Clears it. Haynes. In fact, Peru tried to get it back to the back post. There was Bergamy. Zestic ends up winning it. Nishimwe. Zestic. Eustace. And that one's just out.
Well done, boys.
Bo Haynes. McHale. Bergamy. Back to McHale. McHale. Peru. In fact, it was Haynes. And Haynes puts another one through. And that is another goal. Bo Haynes at the back post, and they've managed to find that back post on a number of occasions here this evening, have South Perth. And they will take so much momentum out of this game, will Alliance, going into the rest of the season. Here's Eustace. Goes to Ferrati. Ferrati to... That was Bates on that far flank, who tried to roll it down the line, couldn't keep it. Craggs goes long. Eustace just clears it away, almost a shot. But Craggs gets back. Now McHale. Haynes clears it into touch. Almost taking out the broadcast. Eustace to Nishimwe, defended by McHale. Back to Jacob Gordon. Eustace turns it over. McHale down the line. Shot wide. Long ball by Jacob Gordon. Peru manages to get his chest in the way. He'll receive from McHale. He'll go to Bergamy and couldn't finish that. Probably should have finished that there, Peru. Disappointed with himself. Probably a bit of height though on the Bergamy pass, and I think he might have been saying that. But with this lead, they won't be concerned. Here's Mazzarelli. Out to Benji McHale. McHale was a good ball. Good idea, in fact, but Bates getting a boot in. Ferrati. Nishimwe. Bates. Can they put one past? Chance for Eustace. Big save by Craggs. Bates loses it. Peru. McHale can't get it through. Ferrati there. Turnover though now. Here's Toth. Beats Ferrati, but can't beat the sideline. That ball goes straight out. Once again, going to be a Phoenix ball. Eustace turns it over. Here's McHale. McHale, few moves, gets a shot off and another goal. And that's 19, and 20 is now on the cards for South Perth. You do have to feel for the Phoenix players and keeper. It's been a tough night at the office, and every team is going to have these evenings. about how they bounce back now. But there's a turnover from Ferrati. Here's Toth. Can they make it another one? And they do! And that's 20. And South Perth have absolutely sent a bit of a message to the rest of the Supa-Liga here tonight. A minute 40 to go, and South Perth, when you do have games like this where everything seems to be falling your way, players get hungry and see the opportunity. They can score a few goals themselves. They can impact the scoreboard. The team can have a big win. So why would you get complacent with an early 3 or 4 goal lead? You may as well keep on piling on the goals. Here's Toth. He might put another one past. Mazzarelli make it 21. And Daniel Mazzarelli, that's 4 for him tonight. And this has been an incredible performance by South Perth. It's been flawless. And now really the only thing left for them to do for the rest of the evening is not concede. Nishimwe. Long ball. Chance for a goal. Can they put one away? No. Wide right. The shot there from Bagworth. Couldn't find the target. And now Craggs will bring it back in. He's been great in goals, coming in for Rung Swung. Here's a chance. Might be another one. This one's saved. Well done by Jacob Gordon. And that one, does it stay in? It does. Mazzarelli there. Chance in the Shimway. Just needed to get a bit more on that, and it probably would have been a goal. And you don't often see score lines like this in the men's Superliga. All the teams seem, as Rosic almost puts that one through, but most MSL teams seem to be pretty even in a lot of ways. And for a 10th place team to overcome 5th place by 21 goals, you know they've had a brilliant performance. Here is Mazzarelli. Obviously undermanned had Phoenix been. South Perth have got pretty close, if not full strength team. Here's Nishimwe. Can he get it through? Mazzarelli there. As I mentioned, pretty much a full strength team for South Perth. They are a bit undermanned, Phoenix. So they will get a bit of cavalry back, hopefully next week, and put up a better performance. And that'll be another one. And that'll be on the buzzer. Is that a goal for Nixon Dindial? It is. And that will be a, by the looks of things, 22-goal win for South Perth Alliance. Thank you for watching, everyone here tonight. And we will be back with you tomorrow night for a bunch of huge games to come.